Rappers are constantly getting in trouble with the law, and some even end up on trial. These are rappers who face trial and their outcomes. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is undoubtedly one of the most iconic rappers in the industry. However, in 1993, he was charged with first-degree murder after a rival gang member was shot by his bodyguard. Snoop was acquitted in 1996 after it was concluded the bodyguard acted in self-defense. This moment in Snoop's career has become legendary, with Snoop Dogg going on to do many interviews and even rapping about the situation. Tupac. Probably one of the most complicated cases in the rap industry involved Tupac Shakur. Tupac was charged with sexual assault in 1993. He maintained his innocence but was convicted and sentenced to prison in 1995. He was released after 8 months on an appeal bond and continued to insist he was innocent. One of the most interesting things about Tupac's cases was that rather than letting jail time define his career and ruin his success, Tupac instead used it to fuel his raps and only further his fame. Lil Wayne. In 2007, Lil Wayne was arrested for criminal possession of a weapon and marijuana. Later in 2009, after a concert, he was arrested again on similar charges. He pled guilty to the possession charge and was sentenced to 1 year in prison in 2010, and he was released after 8 months for good behavior, something that's unusual for the rapper. Still, you can only imagine how badly he wanted to get out of the system and back to rapping. T.I. He had a significant run-in with the law in 2007 when he was arrested on federal gun charges, just hours before he was scheduled to perform at the BET Hip Hop Awards. In 2008, T.I. pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison and ordered to pay a $100,300 fine. While there's no doubt that T.I.'s career took a hit from his time in prison, he managed to bounce back considerably and remains a driving force in the industry. Gucci Mane. Known for his long-standing history with law enforcement, Gucci Mane has been in and out of jail multiple times for various charges. Notably, in 2014, he pleaded guilty to possession of firearms by a convicted felon, which carried a maximum of 10 years in jail, but he took a plea deal and served 39 months with 10 months credit for time already served. Meek Mill. If you know about Meek Mill, you probably won't be surprised to find out that he managed to end up on this list as well. In 2008, Meek Mill was convicted on charges related to drug and gun possession. He served 5 months in prison and was released under a 5-year parole agreement, something that at first seemed like a good thing. Unfortunately, Meek faced numerous parole violations in the following years, culminating in a 2 to 4 year prison sentence in 2017, something that took a turn for the worse and led to many high-profile debates about this topic. His conviction sparked widespread protests and became a high-profile example of perceived sentencing inequality in the American justice system. In 2018, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ordered for Meek's release, and his original conviction was overturned in 2019. So while Meek has been through some hot water in the criminal justice system, it seems like his trial actually ended up being less damaging to his career than it could have been. DMX. DMX faced numerous legal issues throughout his career and life. He was charged with multiple counts of tax fraud in 2017 and sentenced to 1 year in prison in 2018. Many believe that if DMX hadn't been sentenced, he may very well have produced more music and gone on to further his career before his passing. Sadly, these examples show that even the most successful rappers can end up facing serious charges and prison time. From Meek Mill to T.I., incarceration is a reality for many rappers, impacting their careers, personal lives, and even the music industry as a whole. But most importantly, these stories shed light on the often talked about relationship between hip-hop and the criminal justice system in America, showing these rappers who face trial and their outcomes.